Yo, what up, though, man? Money Making Wize. How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. Checking in.
I appreciate you checking in, man. So, seem like lately, man, everybody been making their Texas run, man. You coming out here. New
Most
York
definitely.
native, down in Florida, right? Miami.
Most definitely, yeah. Originally from New York, Brooklyn, New York, to be specific. You feel me? But I've been living in Miami since I was about 14 years old.
I got you. Quick question. What is it about New York that make everybody, Florida, that makes everyone from New York go to Florida?
I think it's a lot of the Caribbean roots.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of the Caribbean roots they start in New York sometimes to try to get the opportunity, and I feel like then they migrate that back down towards the South too, because a lot of their family members set up shop there too, and they see the better quality of lifestyle. I know people from New York, when the first time they hit Miami, they're like I said, Candyland, like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So I feel like, like I said, it's like only like 90 miles from Cuba or something like that.
Got you.
100 miles from Puerto Ricans. And that's a lot of the influence you get too from New York. And then you get a lot of those New York natives trying to move to Miami, or they see Miami and they're like, I gotta get there. You know what I'm saying?
Donald Trump then
Right.
definitely don't have Caribbean roots.
Right.
But he uproots also and goes to Florida. So it seemed like no matter what the
Yeah,
roots is.
West Palm Beach.
I got you.
My bad, I specifically was talking about Miami, but you're right. Florida as a whole, whether people go to Orlando, everything is the warm weather, and you know what I'm saying? It just attracts him.
Gotcha.
He's a New York native too. I think he's from Queens.
Got you. So you being in Miami, you moved there at 14, you said?
14 years old.
So growing up in Brooklyn, what was that like?
It was definitely, an experience, testing in some ways, but I love where I came from.
Gotcha.
Like I feel like it really molded me as an individual, through the good and the bad. Definitely a lot of people, like when, I had no father really in my life. My father left when I was about 5 and he moved to Florida and did his own thing. But like, no big brother, nothing like that.
Yeah.
You're going to come around, you're going to really see people fucking with you. And I feel like in Brooklyn, it's always something like, it's just known for being a tough place in a sense, because everybody's always testing everybody.
Got you.
And that builds character in a sense, because like you'll just be there playing basketball, somebody come, I want to play, take the ball away from you. And it's just like a system that I feel like it just goes on. But besides that, I love the food, I love the culture. You know what I'm saying? It's what really introduced me to hip hop. Because I couldn't run from hip hop. It was
Absolutely.
there in my face.
And that's what I'm about to say, ground zero.
Right.
New York being ground zero for hip hop. Like, at what point in time, though, were you introduced, although hip hop probably was always around you, but at what time did you really get introduced and fall in love with hip hop? Was it a song? Was it an artist? What made you fall in love with it?
That's a good question. When I always try to think back to the earliest stuff, like I know when I really started listening to real like hip hop music that I'm inspired by now, but as hip hop as an introduction, I would say as early like as 4 or 5 years old. Because I used to watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That was a whole rap song. That's the first thing that drove me into the rap shit, like listening to rap. Then I was watching the Ninja Turtle movies that had the rap songs with MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice, you feel me?
Yeah.
Ninja rap. So I already liked rap. And then when I started like getting exposed to more artists, you know what I'm saying? And like, it was really like DMX, Jay-Z, Eminem. That was like right after that. So from 5 years old, but I started really listening to real like shit with the content like around 9, 10 years old.
Can you think of songs that like really like blew your mind away? Like for me,
Yeah.
I knew when I fell in love with hip hop in two places or two instances. One, when I first heard DMX Stop Being Greedy.
Right.
I heard that and I remember it, like you remember places where you were when things happened. Like I remember
Even the
when
smell sometimes.
Exactly. So I remember where I was when the Twin Towers got hit.
Right.
And I remember I was in my brother Escort and he played DMX Stop Being Greedy. And
Right.
it completely destroyed my mind. Because I thought it was two people. I was like, oh, so DMX is a group?
Right.
Because he go with that light voice and then he go to that aggressive voice.
aggressive
He was
shit,
like, no,
yeah.
that's one person. I'm like, yo. And then when Eminem, because I'm originally from Detroit.
Right. That's what's up.
So, you know what I'm saying? So when I remember in summer school, well, I want to say like 9th grade, 10th grade, everybody, the word about Eminem was buzzing.
Right.
We was hearing them heavy. But I remember riding in the back of my cousin's truck and he played that I Am. And I heard that I sit back with this pack of zigzags and this bag
Right,
of
right,
this
right.
weed. And I was like, yo, what? That rhyme cadence was like, oh my God. Those are the two instances in my life that I
Right.
can remember with hip hop stained me. And it's like, yo, I love this. I want to be a part of this.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you have any moments like you heard something, it was like, you know what?
I mean, like, and at that time, I didn't want to make music, but I was just, as a fan, that made me like, because I was really in love with it. There's a couple songs, but one of them that just always comes to head, now thinking about it too, is Forgot About Dre. That's like a song that I broke my mom's car system playing. She was so pissed. She was like, you blew my speakers and shit. She would go in the store, I'll just play it as loud as I can. That was definitely a song. Another song was like, Nelly, I'm Number One. Nelly, Number One. There's a lot of like early joints that they were like, you know, but Forgot About Dre is the one that always, it clicks back in my head.
Hell yeah. So like New York.
Right.
A lot of, New York is one of those markets because y'all are ground zero for hip hop.
Right.
New York holds hip hop to a whole higher standard. And y'all really not that, it wasn't always that accepting of anyone who tried to rap outside of New York.
Right.
So you saying listening to Nelly, listening to an Eminem, did you ever face backlash for not sticking solely with the New York hip hop sound?
Nah, because when that started to happen in that era, like it was being played on the radio. That's how I heard it. So everybody I went to school with, everybody in my age group and my age range, they were all listening to the same shit. Like we had a little 5th grade prom. They were playing If You Want to Go and Get High With Me. But they put the, If You Want to Go Ride With Me. But they were playing all this shit. So I was hearing it from all these sources. So it was like, I think it's more of like when you say, maybe like you like Tupac, that's the type of backlash that I seen people more on. Like when somebody beefing with the East Coast. But I never seen like backlash from anything with the South because, Biggie had love for the South. I think he had mentioned like Scarface and, and he collabed with different people and a lot of New York artists were fucking with South artists.
Okay, so 14, you moved to Miami.
Miami, yeah.
What took y'all to Miami? Why leave Brooklyn, the Big Apple, and go down to Miami?
So I was just living with my mother and she just like, I feel like she was, from what I got from her, she was trying to get a better quality of life.
Gotcha.
And I was also in and out of trouble with school. And she just felt like I was getting too comfortable being in trouble in school.
Gotcha.
Like she was like, you're doing whatever you want, and it's just like, I don't know. That's like one of her things that she told me, but it's hard to see because I don't have a glass, a time machine to look back and see. Gotcha. But yeah, long story short, that's what brought us down in a better quality of life.
You started rapping after high school. What was the first, did you have that aha moment like, yo, you know what, I'm actually good at this and this is what I'm going to pursue professionally?
Yeah, once we did like within our first 5 months, we did like a professional music video. We reached out to somebody, they're like, yo, we want to do it for you. Like there was little moments, but that was the moment where we got the most.
Got you.
Oh shit, I see it happening, this, and then a whole nother chain of events happened from there. But it was like my first shooting this in a place in Miami called Wynwood, which everybody goes to for the Art Basel and shit like that. And this was when it was just upcoming and the DSLRs were just coming out and shit. So the camera game was just
crazy.
Yeah, it was just getting fresh. Like people were starting to shoot more independent videos versus having the major budgets.
No, that's facts. Okay. So then now you fast forward a little bit. You released the video, visual, right. Lil Flip.
Right.
Like
the Freestyle King.
How did you get that connection? Excuse me. How did you get that connection with Lil Flip?
Oh, it was simple. We just reached out to management. We talked. We conversated on a 3-way, me and him, Flip. And he was like, "I'm gonna fuck with you." He looked out, and we just made it happen. He was like, "I know you're genuinely a fan," because I was telling him stories about how I listened to the music, and at the time, my father had passed away. And one of the songs that I used to play, when he would pick me up, like I would see him later, he'd pick me up and take me to his house for the weekends, would be like Game Over and shit like that. So it brought me back to that moment too. And also the way he hustles, I was studying his independent hustle at that time as well too.
Gotcha. So was it a lot of red tape that you had to get cleared to being, I guess he's independent, right?
He's independent. So he got distribution, but he's independent.
Okay.
Right.
I got you. So it wasn't really too much red tape you had to clear.
Nah. I just talked to the manager. We worked it out. And I told him, let's work something out with the publishing too. Like, you. And then he was like, cool. And we did it. We signed some contracts and it was good square business.
Now, was this a record that you already had recorded? You just shot to him? Did y'all get into the studio together?
Yeah. I already had recorded the record.
Okay.
And then I shot it down because at the time, I wasn't really moving around. So I wasn't in that mindset yet. I was just like, yo, you know, I could have him send it back and we do it. But once we did it, I was like, we got to go shoot the video out here though, at least, you know?
But like, shout out to you because you conquer something
it.
that most artists forget to do, right? They pay for the feature.
Right.
But then they don't include that video.
Right.
And so now that artist go like, okay, man, let's link for the video. And then the artist telling like, bro, I need another X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So you didn't have that type of pushback with Flip. Flip was like, yo, just you out here, let's do the video. He made it.
Yeah, like we planned in advance. I was like, let's do it. And they looked out to the fact that, you know, I wasn't familiar with the Houston area at all.
Gotcha.
So I'm talking to the manager about the treatment because usually we could set up our own treatment when we're in our city.
Right.
And he was like, yo, and I was telling him, he was running ideas. He's like, well, Flip said he could get you the screw shop. We can make it work because he's a resident there because he's original SUC. So I was like, fuck it, yeah, let's do it. And we got the screw shop and it worked out perfect.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the first time I got to go to the screw shop. So the first time me going you would think I would be visiting.
Right.
But I'm getting to shoot a whole music video when a lot of people don't get to shoot videos in there and have the whole shit cleared out.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a fucking blessing.
So did you bring a videographer from Florida?
Yeah.
Okay.
AM filmmaker, shout out to him, bro.
That is dope, man. Okay, so then you come out to Houston. First time in Texas when you come to Houston.
Right, that's the first time ever.
So what was your mindset of Texas when you got here?
Oh, before
and once you got here.
So before, you know, I just growing up, like the Houston culture when we were in high school was heavy.
Right.
Back then, all that shit was popping, and the people in Miami was fucking with it heavy.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Wearing the Mike Jones shirts, calling. So there was a whole run where I used to bump Texas and Houston shit heavy. Okay. So I always had an expectation in my head of the, you know, seeing the rims, you know, the spokes, all the shit, the swangers, the lean.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, but I had nothing but good. You know what I mean? And all the other artists I've ever seen run through Texas, they always, you know what I'm saying, talk about how good of an experience they had when they were here. Okay. So then when I touched down, I was like, I just fell in love.
And you touched down in the middle of a pandemic. So you didn't
Last year was the first time, but now this is the second time.
Oh, this is the second time. Okay.
First time in Dallas in the pandemic.
I got you. So you...
Because the Flip video was shot last year on Nipsey's birthday.
Got you. Okay. I got the time frame down. So being that, like, you know, a lot of things is going on right now, and being that you're part New York resident and part Florida resident, I just want to kind of touch on some kind of current topics. Number one, the WAP video. Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion. Mm-hmm. They've been catching a lot of backlash saying, like, you know, how vulgar the lyrics is. Women can only move records by being naked or shaking their ass.
Right.
How do you feel about the state of female hip hop?
I just feel like, you know, they got to do whatever they feel like. At the end of the day, if they're trying to make a living, a lot of these girls, they were strippers before, or they were going to be strippers or sell themselves in some way. So if they can sell themselves with their music without having to get fully naked, shout out to them. But I think that the world we're living in is more revolved around sexual content and all that than anything with real substance most times.
Yeah, because it's tough. Like, because you got some female rappers that are hard, like Rhapsody.
Yeah.
She hard as hell.
I think Meg is hard, though. I think she could really, really, really rap. I just think that people see her and she's a female, then they still want to see her naked.
That's fair.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, no matter how talented she is, they still want to see her cleavage. They still want to see her ass, all that shit.
Okay, no doubt. So, like, you out here, you're doing your blog run. So you do your run, Dallas Global. Like, what made you decide to come to Dallas of all places? How did you end up here?
So, like, by going to the Houston market the first time, when I tapped in with everybody, they started making runs to Dallas. So as I'm watching them through IG and shit, I start tapping in and start seeing more Dallas shit. Obviously, I know a couple artists from here, like Dero, Yellow Beezy, Trap Boy Freddy, that I've heard on the seen interviews from. So I knew something was brewing over here. And then I started seeing, like, hearing more and more every time that everybody was spreading, they were talking about, the market, this and that. Like, I know you guys had a rap scene, but it feels like from what I'm seeing, because I could be wrong, it's touching more and more and more.
Yeah,
it's reaching out, it's getting bigger. So I've been hearing about it because when Vlad did the interview with Beezy, he was talking about the Dallas market and how it's getting bigger. Yeah. And how it was just the row, and for a certain amount of time, there was nothing in between. Yeah. So it's true. So I like Texas in general, so I'm like, I want to come fuck with Dallas, you know what I'm saying, and tap in. Because also, and that's another thing, when I check my Spotify numbers for the last 3 to 4 years, Dallas is always top 5 markets for me.
Oh, that's dope.
Every single I drop.
It's definitely a consumer's market. It's money in Texas.
Money, super money in Texas. You know, Paul Wall, he said you can make $1 million without even leaving Texas.
That's real.
When you got a fan base.
That's real.
Because of how big it is and how people really genuinely support out here and they genuinely show love.
Well, don't say genuinely support and genuinely show love, because if you listen to every artist here, they swear nobody is showing love and they're always saying if we can just come together.
Right.
So I think that's every artist everywhere.
Right.
They always feel like every other market is getting along and here we're just against each other. But on the outside in, you just proved that it seems like Texas kind of rock with each other.
I haven't had I've been out here for a total of like now and before probably like of 10 days, right?
Got you.
And actively out. I'm talking about I'm in the hotel room just to sleep, take a shower, and get out. And almost everybody I've come into contact with without even knowing me or whatever, nothing but love. Yo, take my number. Like when we was there at the studio yesterday, dude watched the interview, he was rapping. He got his own shit going.
Got you.
And he's like, came up, dapped me up. Yo, follow me on Instagram. And then I know we could work.
Got you.
But he don't have to do that. But it was nothing but love. He could be like, oh, you know, but he went out his way to make a relationship. And that's the vibe I've been getting from everybody across the board. When I did Dallas Global Media yesterday, then Mile High was right there. I introduced, let's run an interview right after. That's all I've been getting. So I understand, because I've had issues in my own hometown where people don't want to work. It might be a thing too, where people, sometimes they don't utilize what's in their city. That's number one.
That's real.
Or it's number two is that they're looking at the artists like you're still local, but the people from their town could be trying to grab bigger artists and stuff like that are more established, or they don't believe in them. But you know how it works. That's why, you know, bloggers, media, personality, rappers, they go travel, because when they tap into other markets, the people in their markets, when they come back, they're gonna be more excited to work with them, or even they're gonna now think about working with them.
That's true, because I believe that, you know, people don't appreciate you while you're there, but then the moment they see money making Wize in Texas,
that's when this shit.
Like,
I gotta fuck with him.
You know, he getting an interview from Dallas Global. He getting an interview from Sperry Springer. Oh, damn, he in Colorado now. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a major move that I think every artist should make.
Hell yeah.
Bloggers are starting to make those moves too. Like, shout out to Sperry Springer.
Hell
you know what I'm saying?
That's how I ran into him in Florida at the random. Like,
that's
we were
crazy.
just walking by. And on the hat store, I'm customizing my hat, wearing a Marlins hat and a Marlins shirt. And he was like, you know, I could get a Marlins hat. And I'm like, right there. But I'm like, so I think he thought I worked there because I was dressed in all sports shit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, aren't you Sperry? And he didn't have the mask. And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh shit, we done chopped it up on the internet. And we talked, and you know, eventually we're gonna run an interview. But we just ran each other at the random. Like I said, when I was talking to Big Ant, I was already following you, and he told me to come fuck with you. And when I'm walking out the studio, or when I'm in the studio about to do the interview, you walking out, and then we just ran into each other.
That's wild, man. It's crazy.
Meant to be that I'm in the Dallas market. That's how I feel like to come down here. You feel me?
Hey, man, and I definitely got to tap in with you when I come down to the Miami market. My brother played for the Dolphins briefly. My other brother coached at FAU.
Right.
So I was down in Boca.
Atlantic University.
Yeah, Florida Atlantic. So I was down in Boca quite often, and down in Florida quite often, and then Tampa a little bit, Ybor kicking it out there. Man, so Florida kind of been a little part of my life a little bit.
Right, you already have a run over there. You know what it's like.
Yeah, man. You know, kind of hung out, you know, when my brother was coaching at FAU, a lot of football players was Haitian.
Yeah, that's all South Florida, though.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's Miami or Broward or Fort Lauderdale, it's all South Florida.
So talk about that politic, though, because, like, a lot of people, we think of cities, but y'all really kind of look at it county to county.
Yeah, it's Dade County.
Got you.
We personally call it Trey County, which is for Trey 05, but it's Dade County.
Okay.
305, and then Broward is just Broward County. I really don't know the nickname.
Okay.
For Broward, because I'm not from Broward, but they're 954, 305. So it's like, you know, broken into, there's Monroe County, there's West Palm Beach. So it's like those cities all in South Florida were like, some of them don't stretch out, but definitely Broward and Miami, which are the main two as far as hip hop are concerned. And West Palm Beach, that's all like South Florida.
You
know, like out of Broward came Kodak Black, a lot of different artists. And then Miami, you know, definitely Trick and Ross and Luke are the main ones you're going to think about when you think about Miami. Definitely Ross, you know, right now, and especially at this time.
But so, like, everything is down there. So you got Drink Champs, Miami. With Fat Joe in Miami, right?
Fat Joe been in Miami since, like, forever.
Man, it's like, that's crazy.
Because all the stories I hear when they go back and they tell their stories, ever since they got money, like, and they started moving around, they've been in Miami since, like, 98, 97.
That's crazy.
You know?
Because it seemed like first when you first get your first little bag from New York, you jump to Jersey.
Right, to buy a house.
Yeah.
But a lot of people started coming to Miami.
Then they be like, bro, I need.
But you see, that's what I'm talking about. Like Fat Joe is Puerto Rican and Cuban, right?
Bro.
So he probably has family that was in Miami. Like, yo, you got to come out here. But I don't know that's a fact. But he knows somebody who's like, I got to come out here.
Makes sense.
You know, and then you got Haitian, Jamaican, and they have family
And
in Miami too.
Nori, Dominican.
Exactly. And
So-
he said the first time he came to Miami with Joe, he's like, I got to stay out here. Like he lives in New York, but he always, I feel like, had a residence. He actually lived in close to where I'm from. Like he had a house close to where one of the.
So
like,
Nori moved back to New York?
I don't know where he
Because I
lived.
thought joint
I
terms
think he
with
lives
him
in
and
Miami.
DJ FN, they in Miami.
Yeah. DJ EFN,
EFN.
And Nori had a house, and EFN is from the same part of Miami that I'm from.
That's dope. Damn, man.
Like
so,
we lived in different parts, but we're from the same like if it's Brooklyn, you know, and in New York, like we're from the same part, Kendall. That's what it's called.
So before we go end off on the like what you're releasing this year, if you can say your top 3 markets to do music, to go and promote music at, what would be your top 3 markets though that you feel like you're gonna go to after here?
Oh, after here?
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely got to make a Cali run just to see what it's about because that's another top market.
Have you been there?
Nah, I've never been there before.
Man, you talking about beautiful?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like I don't know. It's not Florida. Like to
Right.
me, Florida feel all posh. In Miami, you feel like extra rich. And LA definitely got its parts, but LA feel hippie-ish.
Right.
Like to be weird is to be regular, but to try to be regular is to be an outcast. Like everybody just can be on their own vibe in LA. Like your creativity just goes through the roof out there.
Right. Because you have actors, rappers, producers, all types of shit, fashion designers,
Heck, get great weather.
interviewers, bloggers.
It's everything out
Right.
there, man. Yeah, definitely. You got to go to
So
LA.
you suggest LA? That's one
Hell
right
yeah.
there. The next one after that is after talking to Mahai, Colorado. We definitely got to go fuck
definitely
with
got there.
Colorado because it's an up and coming market.
You want to do that?
And another market which I don't know, but I'm willing to try is the market in AZ. I want to try Phoenix and all that area.
I interviewed a artist out of Phoenix, Touchdown,
Okay,
and that scene is kind of just like Colorado, like
it's
Denver,
starting to bubble, right?
starting to bubble. They haven't really had they really mainstream like the
Like a
biggest
staple, like a staple.
The only one they had that was close to it was Hot Rod
Right.
when he signed the G Unit a long time ago.
Right. So the market is wide open.
It's wide open, so
Right.
yeah, definitely that. What about Atlanta, Detroit?
The reason I definitely want to tap into Detroit, the reason with Atlanta, even you see it's close to Florida, I could drive up. I just feel like it didn't fit what I was into.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like from all the stories I hear and shit like that, it just feels like I just was like, feel like it's too saturated.
Got you.
Like, you know, when I feel like you're really trying to get somewhere as an independent, you got to find the markets that's fucking with you and the untapped markets. If you're tapping into the market that's so tapped out and everybody's like, they're charging you for promo, like, I feel like they're a city that they move around a lot about hip hop and selling dreams to people. That's just my opinion as far as like show up. You can get opportunities, but it's like performance in front of 6 A&Rs. You know what I mean? And then you pay a fee to go do that. Like I feel like that's what a lot of Atlanta's about. But I'm not talking about the city as a whole. I'm talking about what I would go out there for to do with business and rap.
I feel like you
know
gotta
what I'm saying?
you gotta tap in with a good publicist, bro.
That's
just
what I'm
PR.
saying.
So holla at me, cause I'm connected, and we'll talk about this after screen light. So
Oh, hell yeah.
Get you on interviews there. You already hit the Mile High, but going out there is another one.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what your connections are in New York, but like,
I ain't got no connections to
Okay,
right now.
so
Because like
right.
I came there, I just was there as a resident, you know?
so I got the Source, I got It's Biscuit, I got Rob Markman, I
Oh,
got
hell yeah.
like, so you know, just holla at your boy, man. We gonna
We're gonna make it
that
happen. But
So-
you get what I'm saying with Atlanta, right?
Yeah,
like,
no, for
like
real.
I'm not talking about the city and what they're doing. I'm just talking about like, you know, and a lot of shit happens in Miami. You got to pay for an opportunity, but it'd be like some shit that is not really built up to be. You get what I'm saying? Like you're an artist performing for other artists, and then they're trying to get you into some situation. If they do sign you, that's all the way fucked up.
And that's true. But you know what? I think that's everywhere you go. It's a music business.
Oh, 100%.
So people are gonna be like, hey, you want to get to here? This is what it's gonna cost, but I can get
yeah.
you here. But that's just part of the game. But that's why I tell everybody I know the best way to make connections in a business is tap into somebody you already know, see who they know, and
Facts.
then build that gap versus
Facts.
people be reaching out on the internet like, yo, and then they get damned up, get scammed.
Yeah, they send some money through Cash App,
And be
and
outta
the
there.
next thing they know, they're like, "Fuck, I got scammed," and that's That's what now. Before there were scams before, but now they're a whole nother level of fucking advanced.
Trust me.
Spotify, pay me for Spotify promotion. I'm gonna put you on a playlist. Take your whole money and shit.
You should see how many people that hit me up like, yo, you cool with Sean Cotton? Like, yeah, that's my man. Bro, I just sent him $5,000 for Say Cheese post and he ain't posting my stuff. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, man, he sent me an email talking about he messing with my music, send me this. I said, bro, Sean is not gonna send you an email.
Right, it's a fake saycheese@gmail.com or some fake shit.
I said, Sean would never, ever reach out to you and then say, pay me.
Right.
If he reaching out to you, he's like, yo, I'm about to put you on my shit for free.
Right.
So you're not going to get a
100%.
solicited email or DM from Say Cheese saying, hey, pay me to put you on there. No.
Yeah, because Say Cheese, you got to hit them up and then try to work out the business with them so they can post a video for you.
There you go.
I already had a clip there, but when they were like, their page came down, it was disabled and they were making a run back like in 2016 or 17 or some shit.
Yeah, I was there for all of that, man. That
Yeah.
shit was me and Sean sitting back, like trying to figure out how
That was
to get-
around that time, right?
Yep. So what you got playing, like, 2020, like what can we expect going forward, exiting this year and going into 2021?
Definitely some more content.
Gotcha.
Definitely another couple of music videos. Definitely for sure another single with another artist from Houston.
Okay.
I don't really want to mention now. We're gonna let it be a surprise.
Okay.
I work with the Legend spectrum. This is more on the come up spectrum right now. You know?
Okay.
And definitely I'm gonna drop a tape. It's gonna be mostly when I drop the tape, it's only gonna be for physical sale only.
Gotcha.
So if you want to buy it, it's like you're gonna get what you get. You know what I'm saying? You definitely gonna get something that I feel special. I'm trying to give it to the fans before it goes to streaming service.
Got you.
You know, and then definitely a couple more singles.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna keep trying to up the quality because I feel like I know what I'm doing and I'm happy where I'm at, but I have to keep up in the quality and I have to be open to learning new ways to doing things.
Hey man, for sure, man. Well, definitely a fan of the music.
I appreciate it.
You know,
you heard that.
into
You
it.
heard that Charms. You heard that
Yeah,
Charms video?
I went through a rabbit hole.
Okay.
You know, that's kind of what I do. As soon as somebody send me something, like, okay, let me
Right.
see what I'm interviewing. You know what I'm saying? So your music is there.
Right. I
You got a
appreciate
dope
it.
image. You know what I'm
appreciate
saying? You one of the few white rappers
Right.
that don't try to come off as Eminem.
Right.
Or stereotypically, we a lot of time in the black community, we look like, okay, is he about to try to be like Eminem? No, you definitely your own style. You definitely love and infuse with hip hop, man. So we definitely appreciate that, man.
Hell yeah. I
Hey,
appreciate it.
When I come out to Miami, man, we're gonna have to go somewhere. I don't know if you smoke cigars.
All that. We're going to do all that.
Hey, we're gonna do it,
We're
man.
going to smoke the Michael Jordan
The
Cuban
Cabana.
cigars. You feel
Okay,
me?
yeah, I got you, man. But hey, man, stay safe.
You already know.
Till we
You
meet
too,
again.
man. Everything. I appreciate you letting me come through. I appreciate everything, bro.
Hey, man. Well, until we meet again, be safe.
Hell yeah. You too.